Recorded live from Orlando, Florida and Nashville, Tennessee, you're listening to The Dapper Danielle Show. Starring Ian Wilson, Clarence Kelly. And now, here's your host, the one and only, The Dapper Danielle.
Left hand open.
Do you want to switch places?
No. I'll just have it reversed.
Someone has to have Orangeburg facing in for you.
Yeah, you're left-handed. Yeah, so I'll be the in. You be the out.
I'm good to either one. If you get tired of it, just let me know. We can switch.
Anyways, welcome to another episode of the Dapper Danielle Show. I'm the Dapper Danielle, and we are back in location in Nashville, Tennessee. I guess we're not on location in Disney World, usually where all the themed entertainment stuff is happening. We're back in Nashville, though, because we, as a family, just recently came back from a very exciting adventure in New York City, and we were a part of the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We were balloon holders, and we will get into a little bit more of that here in just a little bit, because we got a lot of questions.
It's like a Mr. Beast video. Like, you got to let them know at the beginning what's happening at the end, so that they watch all the way through.
You got to watch all the way through. But first, you got to sit down and have show, because we're going to go over some history, though.
$1 million.
Nobody.
No
Macy's.
one, because
Macy's does.
Literally, yes. Actually, yeah, accurate. Anyway, but we have a lot of questions that were asked to us, and we will be happy to share those. They were asked in my socials because I covered a lot of this online. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But in our show, we do like to cover some news topics, though.
Yes.
Always.
And there were like two big news things that happened in the theme park world that were just like, okay, no, we got to talk about it.
Kind of winter, Christmas theme.
Very on brand.
Very on brand for this season. I feel like if you unless you're Patrick Starr and you're living under a rock, you have undoubtedly seen that Olaf will be coming to Disney parks, specifically to Disneyland Paris and to Disneyland Hong Kong.
That is right.
Where he will be making select kind of meet and greet appearances. They picture him with like Elsa and Anna. I'm not sure if he will always appear with Elsa and Anna, or if he will just kind of do his own thing, or if he'll be like kind of. I picture him doing kind of slightly more roaming things, but they also seem like they're kind of controlling like the meet and greet location. I don't think he's going to just be total free range.
He is going to be way too popular. Yeah. So typically, other meet and greets that are occurring in the Asia parks is like they have the trolls. And it is a troll animatronic puppet, very similar to Grogu and some of those other, like the dinosaur ones are over at Universal. Yeah. And the troll is in a basket and is being carried around by a citizen of Arendelle. And so he's going around and meeting people in the village area. So we assume Olaf will kind of be in that same breath and just kind of exploring. In the media event, they said that they're getting ready for the Winter Flower Festival or something like that.
My favorite festival.
I believe I could be quoting that wrong, but in the official media thing.
Wouldn't that just be Edelweiss? Are there other winter flowers?
I don't know if Edelweiss is necessarily winter. I think it just grows on the mountain slopes. But I feel like if it grows in Switzerland, like it's so icy and it's not going to grow in the winter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's got to be something. But I feel like Asia, I mean, maybe if it's just in Asia, or maybe it's an Arendelle thing.
Well,
maybe we're like totally reading into it. But I know that there's a lot of flower festivals in Asia, so maybe it's that somehow.
Well, some of the other parks already have Arendelle, right? They already have this whole area opening. This was specifically in debut for the official announcement date of Disneyland Paris's Arendelle expansion, and how they're getting Arendelle as well, which will be opening February. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that, but it's 2026. It's coming up here in just a couple of months, or it's March. It's one of the two.
I'm just thinking about too with Olaf here, just as I'm kind of like imagining him in the park. I'm just curious to know, has anyone thought through the logistics of trying to get a picture with Olaf? Like, if you're zoomed in,
that's true.
He's at your kneecap height. Like, I mean, you've seen the height of the little robot walking around. Like, he's tall. Tiny. So are they going to have like a platform for him to be at like guest head level and interact with them? Or is he just going to, I'm just picturing a lot of shots where you just have Olaf's eyes in the bottom of the frame, and that's it. And then it's just the guests are just like smiling.
It's like the BDX droids. Yeah. He's almost the exact same height, a little bit taller than the BDX droids, which were hugely popular. They just went on their tour around all the parks around the world, and we're hoping that they have a permanent home. I'm personally asking that they show up in Hollywood studios, but they don't have a permanent home just yet. So they very similar, but you either have to film really low, much further away and zoomed in, or you're doing a selfie from all the way up here and you're taking a picture of the ground right there behind you.
It's just very amusing.
So the Olaf robot talks.
Yes.
Did Josh Gad record new voice lines? Are they repurposed, or are they using AI to make him say stuff?
This is a good question, and I would love for our friends over at Disney Animation that work with that, or Josh.
Yeah, if you
let us know
in the comments. Yeah.
Podcast at thedapperdanielle.com.
Yeah, that is actually a very valid question.
Like all of the lines I've heard, well, maybe not.
They sound like Josh.
I've heard them. They sound like they're from the movie, so I could.
They could be a voice double.
Yeah, well, that's true too. I don't know. It's interesting to know.
I don't know.
I would not be shocked if they're using some sort of AI thing that was trained on his voice.
That would be really unfortunate if it was, because then that means that Josh is not getting his bag.
I don't think he deserves a bag anyway, but you know.
That character though.
Hot take, right
I don't know. I would argue that, because when you think of another voice that is so iconic, I only think of Robin Williams as the genie. For another sidekick character that surpasses the main characters.
Morgan
that
Freeman?
Has
James Earl Jones?
In what characters?
Darth Vader?
Okay.
Or anybody that Morgan Freeman has played? God?
I mean, doesn't count. I'm talking about in the Disney animated world.
Okay, Disney
right?
animation.
Where a character's like motives and moods. Okay, maybe Larry the Cable Guy over in Pixar.
Totally.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
for Mater.
You could argue he's like more of a main character, whereas like Olaf is definitely supporting cast.
Right. But I mean, his merch does better than Anna's does, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I do agree. I mean, I say what you will, Clarence. I do feel like Josh Gad did great things for Disney by voicing Olaf, and Frozen. The success of Frozen has been just insane. So, anyways, I also feel like too, artist integrity. Like if you did the voice, if you did the character, if it's your person, I feel like you get to see the person out as long as you want. Like no one wants AI Darth Vader now. We're kind of left with that reality because it's where we're at. But ideally, you want the original voice coming in, voicing that, kind of continue it as long as the character's alive is like the ideal to me. Because that's their characters, just like Jim Henson with all the Muppets.
The voice of Aladdin still does anything Aladdin related.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yes, he does. He is still the voice in all the sequels, all the video games, even some of the most recent video game appearances with Aladdin's voice is the original voice actor still.
And if you read I Love Disney's Magic Kingdom,
yeah,
you'll know that he's also the voice for the flying carpets in Agrabah.
Yes.
I did know that.
Says, buckle up or whatever, the safety shoes. So he gets around.
He does. He does. The only other thing really in major news that I personally feel victimized by is the fact that over in Hong Kong Disneyland, as part of their tree lighting ceremony, they also include drones. And in their drone sequence, they now have Kermit and Miss Piggy appearing in the drones, and a portion of the song from Muppet Christmas Carol, It Feels Like Christmas. And to which I posted on my social media. If you follow me over on Instagram, you saw this in my stories, and how I feel like I don't get anything I ever want because all I want is more Muppets Christmas Carol represented in the parks.
I'm blanking
in the US
on where It Feels Like Christmas is in the movie. Because I in my brain I was singing like the one that's like only a few more sleeps, one more sleep.
Well, there's One More Sleep Till Christmas, but then that's the song that
you find love,
it feels like Christmas.
Oh, it's the ending song.
Yeah. Well, the ending song, and also the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, true.
That's right.
and one that
Okay.
most.
I was just blanking on where it was. I was like, why can I not think of where?
Did
that
you
is in the
hear
movie?
the new cover? I won't play it right now because of don't want to get demonetized. But have you heard the new cover from? Oh my gosh, what is the name of the band? They dropped it in October just randomly, and all the Muppet fans started losing
have
their
no idea.
minds.
Or it's
For
from
that
a
song?
Muppets Christmas Carol.
It is feels. Hold on, let me double check. Feels like
Christmas.
Christmas. 2025 schedule. I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Fallout Boy.
What? I was not
Fall Out
expecting
Boy
that.
did a cover of Feels Like Christmas.
Of all the bands you could have said that would have been like guess number 1,000 for me. I mean,
It's
way
already
down
on my
the-
playlist. I've already listened to it
Is
multiple
good?
times.
Is
I love
like
it.
A rock version of it?
Kind of. It's kind of almost like that early 2000s
It's
like
the
punk
coworker
band.
music version of it.
Mm. That-
I hate Fall Out Boy.
Do you
I
really?
cannot stand Fall Out
Wow.
Boy. It is coworker music to me.
two misses for Clarence on the news topic.
I don't
First, we had
know.
Josh Gad. Second,
I
we
don't
had
like
Fall
Josh
Out
Gad.
Boy.
I don't like Fall Out Boy.
Where's your Christmas cheer?
My Christmas cheer is in the original.
There goes Mr.
I want-
Humbug.
There goes
I want,
Mr. Grimm.
I want the Ghost of Christmas Present to be singing it. I don't want to hear
Oh,
the
Fall Out
It
Boy.
Fall Out
is
Boy
the
whiny
season of the
voice.
spirit. Yeah, I
That's
guess.
so interesting. I
That's rough.
cannot even imagine it. I'm gonna honestly have to listen to it to even imagine that mashup because it's just so far from what I ever could have.
Well, I can
conceived
play
in
it
my
now.
brain.
Just Clarence is gonna have to cut it out of the thing.
We can listen to it later.
We'll listen to it later.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't subject
I
me
don't
to
think,
this torture.
I don't think our listeners want to hear Clarence throw up on the podcast.
Exactly.
Not the ASMR we're looking for in a recording, right?
I'm standing by my opinions. I'm just being real.
You know, and that's what we're here for on the Dapper Danielle show, and that's why we keep it authentic. That's what it
Uh-huh.
is.
We're
Is
just
Fall Out Boy
real.
the Immortals? Is that them? We could be immortals.
No, that's
I'm thinking of
That's not Linkin Park.
Imagine Dragons.
That's no. Is that? Yeah, right. That could be Imagine Dragons.
I don't
What
know.
is Fall
Also
Out Boy?
coworker
What's
music.
the
Oh.
Fall Out Boy hit?
My songs know what you did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't light 'em up, up, up.
They're fine.
I'm on fire. So bad. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
You know, for not liking them, you know quite a lot of songs.
Because that was a hit in
They
like
literally-
2013.
Also,
It
See,
was so
I
bad.
love-
It's inescapable.
If you went to any high school football game, you have heard that song like
Yeah,
3 times.
exactly.
Yeah,
that
You don't
accurate.
have to
is
like a song
high
if it's
school
played everywhere.
sport.
to
You know, I
remember it.
did. I think what I really liked was Sugar We're Going Down from 2005.
Okay, early Fall Out Boy gets a pass to some extent.
Right.
Even then, I'm not a fan. Never really have been. They just seem like the basic watered down version of My Chemical Romance.
There you go. Well, let us know in the comments if you're a fan of Fall Out
Yeah.
Boy and if you like the new song that they covered.
It's okay,
I feel
but
like
you
It Feels
are
Like
someone's
Christmas.
coworker. If you listen, you are the one listening to the coworker music. That is
Mm.
you. I'm sorry.
Hot takes. As you're literally sipping hot tea. Anyway,
I'll be
so
sassy.
The Dapper Danielle Show will be right back after these messages.
as we get into talking about our experience
Main
with the
attraction.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and our main attraction, how about we cover a little bit of history first?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, your first thing of history, like I said earlier, is that we were part of the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The very first one happened in, let's see, make sure I got this correct.
99 would have been 1926.
Yes. Did I not write down that date? I wrote down
just
every
wanna
other date
say,
but that.
too, it has really been interesting because doing like the Macy's, the 99th.
Mhm.
It's been interesting to see. There's a couple of other like centennial, the closest centennial anniversaries happening right now. It's kind of amazing to think about like where the world was and like what was starting. Like even us, we flew Delta up to New York, and it's like Delta's celebrating 100 years right now, and it's like
That's true.
wow. Like
Yeah.
we're thinking about like okay, when the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade started, Delta had been in business for 1 year. When the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade started, the Rockettes had done their first show the Christmas before and were getting ready for their second show. It's like
Yeah.
weird to think about those things that you just like take for granted. It's just like icons of our society.
Right.
Which Macy's is one of those. The Thanksgiving Day Parade is for sure one of those. But it's just crazy to imagine like, okay, turn back the clock 100 years. What was like the world like then? And it's like, I don't know. It's just like the crazy things when it's like there's all those like weird stats of like there's less time between like the invention of the iPhone and the Chariot than there is like like I don't even can't even come with the actual ones, but those like weird Instagram stats where you're like your mind's just blown because like in 70 years we like went to the moon and also like still had people dying from like polio, and it's like wait, that was like 70 years apart only. That feels like 200
Accurate.
years in between that easily, so anyways, just kind of weird time warping, just seeing some of these other like century marks and thinking about how old I think of the Thanksgiving Day Parade being, and then thinking about these other things being that old too. It's just kind of been, I'm just like more in tune with that.
Right.
After
And
doing
I have
the 99th parade myself.
So actually
I
the
would say
first
I'm more
one
in tune.
was in 1924.
Okay.
So
24. Okay.
right. So I think there were, I don't know the exact dates of when,
Were there-
what year
World
there
War
was not
II
held.
was canceled.
Right.
One of the World War II years, I feel like.
And then was it
Did they
in
do
2020 or no, there was an abridged version in 2020. They still did it.
We should have looked this up beforehand.
I have all the 20s
What were the
information.
2 years that they skipped?
What are the 2 years that they skipped?
I'm going to say it's in the 40s was one of them.
My guess is
And-
1929.
Hold on.
Great Depression.
Yeah. That could,
Ooh, maybe.
not really a super chipper time, especially after the stock market crash in New York.
Exactly. Macy's probably lost a lot of money.
Parade.
I think 1940 would make sense when we entered the
First
war.
year, yeah.
Or I guess it would have been 1941.
Yeah, because
You-
No,
Ooh.
42, because it would have.
Well, December.
We
of
weren't bombed
40
until December 7th of 41. That was when Pearl Harbor happened.
So would they have had the Macy's things?
It would have
had
been
it
before.
then. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Tell us, Danielle.
Your official answer is it did not run in 42, 43, and 44.
What?
And this was due to World War II,
Okay.
which caused the shortage of materials like rubber and helium.
that makes sense.
You need helium.
That makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah.
And so they couldn't make the balloons. They couldn't inflate them or anything like that.
Okay.
Uh,
it was all going to
so-
the war effort.
Makes sense. And anybody that would have been operating or holding down anything, any bands were all drafted. Like there was like
You saying
nobody
the
to
women
run it.
couldn't do it.
Well, as somebody was holding down the fort also over in the warehouses manufacturing it, keeping the boys in the air, right?
It's true.
Anyway, so the more you know. Thank you. I appreciate Google for having that
You
information for
saying
me.
only men can be in a marching band, Danielle?
It was the 40s. We've come a long way where all of a sudden a woman's now hosting a podcast and is talking to her 500,000 followers.
Danielle
We've come a
didn't
long
say
way.
it. Danielle didn't say it. America said it.
America said
it wasn't Danielle.
Thank you, Ian. Okay, but what I found interesting was the reasoning why there even was a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Mhm.
So it was originally
us,
done
Danielle.
because in 1922 the company went public, right? And the Macy's flagship store in Manhattan, Herald Square, did such good business that it expanded in 1924 to cover an entire city block stretching from Broadway to 7th Ave along 34th Street,
Mhm.
right? So it's
Yeah.
one of the largest, well, at the time, they sold it as the world's largest store with over 1 million square feet of retail space.
Wow.
In 1924, which is very impressive.
That is
That
impressive.
is very
That's-
Height
I mean,
of
I think
the
it's big now.
of the Roaring
Like,
20s.
when we went recently, I was shocked at how big
Yeah.
it
That's
was.
a huge story.
I mean,
Yeah.
gorgeous store also. And so they expanded the store in 1924, and it just happened to be coincidental that it was on Thanksgiving morning. It was actually a Christmas
Okay.
parade.
Oh.
And so to add a little more explanation to this, Macy's decided to throw a New York parade in New York on Thanksgiving morning to promote the official beginning of the Christmas shopping season. Okay. So Macy's hoped it's
the original Black Fridayers.
Literally, yes.
That makes sense. I mean, you would. Okay, yeah, ring in Christmas.
Let's buy some stuff, people.
Literally, yes. And so they hoped its Christmas parade would whet the appetites of its consumers and bring in the crowds literally following the parade route, right? Now
that I get it now. After walking it, that makes so much more sense.
Oh no, it's even crazier because we only walked about 2.5 miles, so just under a 5K, so about 3 miles, right?
Yeah.
The original parade was over 6 miles long and started in Harlem.
Wow, that is a hike.
It is a hike. And now the parade itself was actually very, very short, the original one. It only lasted about a block in length.
Okay, so it wasn't as long.
It wasn't as long.
But
it went further.
Can you imagine being up in Harlem and you're like, see this parade go by super short. And they're like, follow us for great sales. And then 5.5 miles later, you're like, I would have brought water or something. I mean, I'm dying here walking down from, how am I going to get home?
What's even crazier is that it included like a small band, included circus performers. It also included live animals from the New York Zoo that walked that 6 miles, and there was no balloons yet. So it was just this parade of these animals from the zoo that by the 6 mile mark were getting angry outside of Macy's and were starting to roar and make noises and disturb the children.
Did they have to walk them back? That's the question.
Somebody had to walk them back to the New York Zoo.
This is such a good story.
And
I would watch a parade of like tigers and bears going down the street in Manhattan. That'd be hysterical.
The original, so when we were on our little 3 mile stretch, there was easily over 1 million people there, right? Did we have an estimation of 3 million people?
Our captain, I thought he said when we turned on when we turned on to 6th Avenue, he said 500,000 people on that. So maybe
on that one road.
I don't know if it was on that one road or the whole route or what. I don't know.
But tens of millions viewing at home.
I mean, there are like 8 million people living in New York. So I feel like, to me, 1 million, like an eighth of people turning up for the parade seems a little high. But like a 16th, I could imagine.
Right. Well, the original crowd, since it was also 6 miles deep, only had about 5 to 10 people deep along the parade route.
Okay.
Right. So it wasn't too crazy in the first year.
Everyone's like, what is this?
Right. They're just like, what the heck is this? The parade finally finished by noon. And when it finally arrived at the front of Macy's Herald Square store, there at the entrance, 10,000 people cheered Santa as he descended from his sleigh after being crowned King of the Kitties. Kris Kringle.
Kiddis, like kitties, like kids.
Kiddis.
Okay, not kitties like meow, kitty cat.
No, like kitties.
Like children.
Kris Kringle then scaled a ladder and sat on a gold throne mounted on top of the marquee above the store's new 34th Street entrance where that giant turkey is.
He was on that, basically like, above people walking in and out.
Yes.
That is hysterical.
This really plays into our whole theory about the turkey and the sacrifice.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. With a bellow from his trumpet, Santa sounded the signal to unveil the Fair Frolics of Wondertown, the Christmas time window display designed by artist and puppeteer Tony Sarge. As soon as the police lowered their crowd control lines, children rushed to the 70-foot long window to see the miniature Mother Goose marionette characters move. Then everybody then went into the store afterwards around noontime.
They were marionettes, so was somebody doing it?
Well, it was before main animatronics or electronics really were like.
There was some.
But you had like mechanical, like
It's just how in depth were they like classic marionette, like hand controlled, really subtle movement, just like an up and down lever thing. You know.
I feel like they're probably
marionette characters on
So?
moving belts frolicking in their own parade.
Okay.
Yes.
So it was automated.
It was automated.
So they're probably the little ones that have like little sticks that go into the ground. You
Oh,
what I mean?
probably.
Kind of, you know, and they kind of like
Yeah.
run around.
Maybe they just move along the belt and there's a little turny thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Cool.
Wow.
So some other fun facts is that the animals from the New York Zoo also were not simply removed after the first year. It did take them at least another 2 years until they finally decided, okay, the animals are getting tired of this. It's not safe. They're scaring children as they're getting towards the end of the 6-mile walk, right? And they didn't account for the feces left behind by the animals in the middle of the street.
Interesting. Good point.
I think it's a bummer that they took them out. I think that is the best part. Like, make them work. It's not like they're paying rent, you know? Like,
so bad.
they should be employed.
I love some of the stories of like early 1900s where it's like, yeah, we had like, I don't know, 15 tigers and lions getting mad and like just one handler per person on this old leather leash that was kind of cracking. And our biggest problem was like the feces left behind. And it's like, you weren't worried about them just like getting loose. Like, just the stories are so funny. Just
right.
Like, let's just do it and see what happens mentality.
Well,
I respect it.
because of it was only with the removal of the animals that they decided to bring in and debut the helium-filled balloons.
Okay.
And one of the very first ones that debuted was a helium-filled Felix the Cat, designed by Sarge, who also created the original toy windows there in 1924. And it debuted in 1927.
Cool. Was he the only balloon?
I believe it says
Or
here
just
that
the first one?
attractions
fun
after
that
they
Felix the Cat
debuted.
is the
I think
first
it's
one. I
just
think
it
it's
sounds
cute.
like he was the only one that year.
Okay.
And then the one that we know that Disney historians and theme park goers know is the first Mickey Mouse debuted balloon, which came a few years later in 1934. And so he made his debut, but that wasn't the highlight. The highlight was that the parade had been upped in plus so much that the original caption that ran in the New York Daily News for his photo read, "The parade was so large this year, it took an hour for it to pass."
Wow. Okay.
So to go from a 5-minute show, literally only a block long, to be taking so many hours for this parade to pass by you because there were so many like
Full
bands
hour.
and things involved, and it had become such a New York tradition on Thanksgiving Day, but it's actually a Christmas parade.
Fun.
Who knew?
I love that.
Right?
So interesting.
So that's your quick little history recap for you about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and how it originally started in 1924. And we figured out the dates of when it was skipped. And I'm kind of shocked. Maybe they'll touch on it more next year for the 100th of covering those dates and explaining why. Because I feel like even in the news coverage, if you watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, everybody's like trying to do the math of like, wait, like how we were. Wait, what dates were skipped? Did we skip it in 2001? Did we skip it in 2020? Which one were we skipping? And it just all happened to be in World War II. So there you go.
I heard the animals are coming back for the 100th.
No.
They're literally going to just empty out the Central Park Zoo. They'll have...
So it's a recreation of Madagascar.
Exactly. You
And
got
they're gonna
Alex
just
the lion. You got
It will
Marty
be
the zebra.
very quick parade because everyone will be running in front of the animals. So I mean, I'm thinking like pretty breakneck pace the whole way down.
Yeah.
I
We
would
won't
love
volunteer
that.
for
That'd
that
be great.
one.
Just let them loose in Herald Square. See what happens.
So how did we get asked to do the 90 minute
That's true.
That's actually okay. So that is the number one
Why
question.
were we in it?
Why?
Who, what, where, when, and why. Really, this boils down to I have some really, really cool followers is really what it is. And I am so grateful that you guys like me enough that you will sometimes email me and say, "Hey, Danielle, I do this really cool thing as part of my job and part of my connection. Do you want to partake?" And then I'm like, absolutely. Like, yeah. So our balloon captain, who actually led us and has been part of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade for, do you say 15 years?
15 years.
15 years, reached out to me, not this year, last year, actually July of 2024, he reached out to me and he sent me a note on Instagram and he said, "Hey, Danielle, would you be interested in being in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?" I didn't see the message until 2 months later because of the way Meta's AI messaging system works. So I had met TJ at least once before, him and his wife at MegaCon Orlando that year previously. And then I messaged him saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed this message." He's like, "Yeah, so sorry. It's already filled. It's already late." Because they start filling up the system back in July, right? So they do this in the summer, fill the slots, get all their people organized, and then they go from there. So then he messaged me, or no, he came to the booth at MegaCon. You were not there. You were at a thing.
Playing Magic the Gathering or something.
Probably. He came back up to MegaCon at my table and he's like, "Danielle, are we going to do it this year? Are you coming to Macy's?" And I said, "Yes." And I gave him my business card so that way he could not lose my email. And I said, "Do not message me on Instagram. Send me an email to make sure I do not miss this." And then he sent me an email again later, a couple weeks later, to make sure that he's like, are you still ready? Are you ready to do this? Because as soon as I send you this email to sign up for it, we got to go. We got to do it. And I said, "Yeah, as long as my family can do it with me." And he's like, "Let me see." And he verified that the entire Dapper family he was able to sponsor and vouch for. And I think it was also because his wife also they both do it. They both are balloon handlers or pilots for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I think half of us were through him and half of us was through his wife, but his wife was on maternity leave because
Makes
she's
sense.
super pregnant. So by the time this episode airs, we might have a Christmas baby. Congratulations, JT, on the baby. Yay. And we just signed up for it. We had to do an application process. We had to submit our IDs and everything. The only way you can get into the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is if you are a active employee, I believe retired Macy's, like with so many years, or you're in one of the Macy's like
Yeah, I feel like
extensions.
Once you've done it, like if you were an employee, you did it for a couple of years,
Right.
You can kind of get into certain groups where you have invites to do it again in the future, even if you're not still working at the company. But active employees the best way, and then there's also the sponsorships, kind of, which is where we went through.
Right. And JT got his connections actually not even through Macy's. He never worked for Macy's. Instead, he was a balloon pilot at Universal Orlando for the Macy's Universal Parade. So Universal and Macy's, they have a partnership right there. It is Macy's balloons. They promote them as Macy's Thanksgiving Christmas balloons.
It's sponsored by Macy's.
Yeah.
Like it is a legit.
Yeah, it's a Macy's event.
Yeah.
And so because he did it for so many years with Universal, Macy's is like, "Well, why don't you just come to New York? Because you do it on a daily basis in Orlando, Florida. You know what you're doing. You have the seniority under your belt. Just come up here to New York." And he started doing it in New York. So I believe it was 5 years there, 10 plus years actually doing it in New York City. And that's where he was grandfathered in, and he's part of that Macy's team. And he was part of the inflation team this year too. So part of the team that makes sure it's laid out correctly. The nets are over top of them, dealing with helium and making sure it goes up there in the air. So yeah.
It's very cool.
It was very cool.
Do they deflate them every day in Universal, or do they leave them inflated?
That is a good question.
I don't know. And I'm asking Danielle as if you know.
No, what's funny is I should ask. I don't know if she'll answer. I could text her. She's actually a pilot. Shout out to Jules. Hey, Jules. She actually has been operating as a pilot in Universal Orlando this year. So I might need to. I'll text her afterwards and I'll let you know. Details will be in the description below.
Have you ever seen the one at Universal?
No, I haven't
Me
been to
neither.
Universal
Have
at
you?
Christmas at
No,
all.
I haven't.
Okay, none of us have been to Universal for Christmas, I guess.
We were in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade before ever getting into Universal Orlando for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That is so unfortunate.
We're a Disney family. It's really what it is.
Comes down to.
Well, and I feel like we never lived on that side of Orlando because, like,
Yeah, we did.
oh, we did. We actually lived. We lived right behind the park, didn't we?
And in an apartment This is how close we lived to Universal.
We only went once.
Lived in an apartment that we could look off of our balcony into Fear Factor Live
Back in the day.
at Universal. We literally were right backed up to the park itself. That's how close we were.
We had to pay attention to what days it was a Halloween Horror Nights event because we knew, okay, the screams, somebody's not getting murdered in our parking lot. It's just the park making all these awful noises.
I would ride my skateboard through Universal property. Like, I would literally be riding my skateboard past the gates of the resorts.
I forgot about
there.
that.
That's how close we were.
Pretty close. That's pretty close. I'm not gonna lie.
We just never bothered to go.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, our Universal family. And I understand. Love you, team members. I know a lot of you also follow me to get some of your Disney fix. We will try to get this fixed as soon as possible. I still haven't been to Epic yet.
Yeah, if you want to hook us up with tickets to Epic.
I have been invited to a lot of Disney things. I have not been invited to any Universal things.
I think they just don't know we're interested. You know what also kills me? Is I've met the creative director of Universal Creative, and her sister follows me. You might be watching this right now. I still have not gotten invited to anything Universal based. I'm happy to talk about your history. I'm happy to talk about all this stuff. I just don't get the invite.
Podcast at thedapperdanielle.com, please.
We're just hanging out. We got nothing to do.
Send us an invite.
Christmas, our plans are flexible.
Yeah, it's true. I am.
We're a joy to have around at the holidays.
We are actually.
I mean, we might talk bad about Fallout Boy, but it's fine.
I'll be the problematic uncle at the table, like at the dinner table. Someone's got to play the role.
I mean, true.
And like my opinions aren't that heinous.
That's true.
You know, I just don't like Fallout Boy.
Okay. That we can handle. That we can handle.
The Dapper Danielle Show will be right back after these messages.
Anyway, so the other question we got was, okay, so that explains how we got involved, how we did this. And it really boils down to you got to know somebody, and you have to have somebody be willing to vouch for you. And that was
work there.
That was our connection. Yes, we met some great people from all over the Macy's world. Though we met some lovely ladies that worked in Macy's HR, or at least the ones that worked in the Orlando call centers. I got to meet them. We met a
security people. Some people that worked in the security department. We met someone who's like a purchaser for
Bloomingdale's.
For Bloomingdale's.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
She was on our team, right?
She was on our team.
I forget that Bloomingdale's is a Macy's company. Like,
right.
Or is owned by Macy's.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like that, the extension, the arm of.
I don't know what other stores Macy's owns.
The power of Google at my fingertips.
We love the internet.
What companies?
We also haven't even said what balloon we were on. But if you follow Danielle, you probably already know what balloon we were on.
Do you want to tell them about our balloon? That was the other question was, did we know or were we allowed to sign up for certain balloons?
No.
The answer is no. Even the pilots don't know who they get until much closer to Thanksgiving. And it's kind of just a random selection. We put you where you put you kind of thing.
Because if we could pick, I would have been on a Snoopy.
Yeah, I would have picked something probably other than the soccer ball. But it was interesting because our pilot was actually telling us that the smaller balloons are much easier to control because you don't have to deal with the wind. Because every intersection in New York is like a wind tunnel where you got a weird cross breeze. And the bigger the balloon, the more complex the operation is. You have multiple kind of co-pilots that are helping direct the different sides of the balloon. Cornering gets a lot more complicated. You have to watch out for tree branches, street lights. So I feel like, I don't know. There's part of me as we started the day in Spider-Man's crotch. I was a little envious of it would be fun to be a part of one of these giant balloons. It would have been fun to do one of the Disney balloons, I feel like, just because of our Disney connections. Yeah. But I also was very grateful too that we were figuring it all out with just a little tiny soccer ball. I felt like I pretty much could have held the balloon by myself. I mean, they said to prepare for a constant 20 pounds of upward pressure with the balloon. But with how many handlers we had, I mean, we had 22 handlers assigned to our balloon for 10 ropes. And
It was 8 ropes, wasn't it? Two.
Thought it was.
Oh, you're
10.
right.
I think it's 10.
2, 4, 6.
I thought you
8.
said there's 10 bones, and they call them bones too, the little the handles
Yeah.
that you hold attached to the ropes. But anyways, basically 3 of us could have held that balloon down and walked all the way down. I mean, it was extremely easy compared to some of the other large balloons. So,
Something we did talk to our pilot, so we were talking to TJ, and he did confirm that most of the
Isn't it
balloon JT. I keep saying TJ.
Sorry, JT.
I know a TJ also.
I'm like so confused sometimes because I'm like, wait, I really thought his name was JT.
No. TJ is our friend over at the Courtyard Anaheim.
Should we be mentioning all these names?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
cool.
fine.
Just checking.
They're fine. They get shouted out in all of my other content too. Whenever I do other collaborations, it's all
Please
good.
don't stalk our friends.
Yeah, that'd be
Be
weird.
nice. Be nice.
And okay, so JT said that a lot of the balloons that can just be done with one singular string, like our balloon only probably needed 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have extra, and the reason why they have extra is because of Barney.
Barney.
Right.
Classic Barney.
Rest in
Is
power.
it because of Barney or is
He-
it because
he
of
said-
Sonic the Hedgehog?
He said it was because of Barney.
Okay.
Ever since the Barney incident.
Because the Sonic incident is very similar to Barney. It happened in 93. Barney, I believe, was 97.
Well, he said it was after the Barney because it was the most recent one.
Okay. That makes
And
sense.
ever since then, extra safety measures were put in place after the Barney incident. If you do not know, that's when the Barney got the wind gust hit him just right. He got torn up and started deflating.
Got stabbed by a light pole.
Yes,
It is quite a funny video.
It is.
Quite a funny
But-
video.
After doing the balloon handling, you realize how stressful that probably was.
well, and how
as a
huge it is too.
How terrifying that would be.
Could you imagine, like, with how big Spider-Man was, or
Oh my
that
gosh,
giant
just
wolf
Yeah.
from the Elf on the Shelf
Any of the big
series?
ones, yeah.
Any of the
it
big
would've been
ones.
Frightening.
And like the balloon hits you, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that one of the big balloons, if it like came down, would like come down with enough force to like kill anyone. But it would definitely
It could
like,
smother
flatten you and like bruise you. And if it stayed on top of you, would
Could
Yeah.
probably
smother
send you top
for, like-
rolling.
Yeah, for sure. So
Well,
just watching that like Barney go all over the place, it's like, whoa.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll save that for the end because I want talking about the helium portion.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I got distracted by Barney.
Yeah,
Okay, the
so
safety
extra
features.
tethers.
Safety features, yeah.
The little bones that we were holding, we actually did have to go through and watch a safety video talking about how to position yourself, hand motions that the pilots use to say keep going, slow down, stop, all that other jazz.
I will say it seemed like we were some of the only people who did our homework.
We are the only ones that remembered, and we ran through. Jacqueline read through, and we tested in the hotel
we literally
room.
practiced in the hotel room all of the hand signals.
We were definitely. I think I realized that at some point we like had just started, and I realized I was like, I've been prepping for this whole thing under the mindset of like we need to be like Disney safe, like Disney safe, where like if you do one wrong verbal procedure before you even do the
Terminated.
physical procedure, the ride stops. Like
You have
there
a
is no,
reprimand.
like, oh yeah, okay, you did it wrong that time. Let's just keep it going. It's like hard stop. We readjust until we do it the right way, and then we go. And so I was like anticipating that, of like we're not even going to be able to move the balloon unless we are like all locked in, and like I need to have like both hands on the bone at all times. If I have to like scratch my nose, they're probably going to come up with a golf cart and like take me off like the thing. And then it's like there's people, handling the balloons, like walking. There was this lady in front of us as we're prepping that just kind of puts her rope down on the ground, getting her gloves on and stuff. And I was like,
painful.
oh, I'm so concerned that like Spider-Man's foot is going to go.
I was worried about that
flying
too. I
away.
was
It
so worried
very
about that.
stressful watching her like prep. for
And I was
it.
like, do we need to switch bibs? Do you
Yeah,
need
I'll
me to
come
go
hold
cover
it. Wait,
Spider-Man?
I'm
You can
right
take the
here.
balloon.
Can
I got
just take
Spider-Man's
it?
foot.
Like, yeah, empty
It would
ropes
have been
is
worse
stressing
if
me
she
out.
was on our team.
Oh yeah.
This lady was so incompetent
Yeah,
when
was
it came
rough.
to balloon. Like, why are you there? She was like annoyed to be there.
I think it was just hard because it's like
She had to be somebody's mom.
Yes.
I feel like and again, I feel like it's partly just because of the Disney culture. We take all of the small details so seriously, and we see how small details lead to safety violations, lead to people losing their jobs at Disney and stuff. So it's like very ingrained in us. I feel like to be like, no, like we're doing it safe, we're doing it the right way. And I think other people just kind of assume it's kind of like, I don't know. I was going to say like kind of herd immunity. Maybe that's too politically touchy, but kind of herd immunity mindset of like, I'll just be good because there's 150 other balloon handlers out there, so I can let go of my rope. And it's like, okay, but if we all have this mentality, the balloon goes.
That's why there's 2 tethers per stanchion now. In case one person lets go, there's a higher percentage chance of one other person holding on.
Unless you're Spider-Man's foot. That one was only one.
Spider-Man would have been gone.
Yeah.
I really hope Spider-Man's foot lady is not one of your fans because we were ragging on her.
I'm so sorry. But there was 2 feet. I didn't say if it was the left or the right one.
It's up to you to guess. Go back and watch the recording and see which lady looks more incompetent.
Spider-Man was pretty low to the ground. You couldn't see any of them. And that was the other thing. And I love that y'all shouted this out. And y'all even called it out to Macy's and NBC to say that they didn't record any of the people holding the balloons. They only covered the balloon itself. They didn't pan over the people down below. And everybody's like, wait, you skipped us. We did get skipped.
Yes,
we did.
And it made sense. I kind of knew this was going to happen only because right before us was the Disney float, Disney Destiny. They had their whole dance routine. They were great. They were phenomenal. Shout out to the Disney Destiny team.
They were really good.
The Spider-Man balloon was immediately after them. And then Temple University.
Marching band.
Yeah.
A marching band. We had 3 big hitters.
Who were very good.
Temple was great. They did great crowd work.
Wonderful being behind a marching band.
Oh, thank
otherwise
goodness.
It's completely silent.
Which is kind of awkward because sometimes you're like passing within like 10 feet of, I don't know, 5,000 people at a time. And it's like, hey, how's it going?
Well, and we experienced this in previous years because towards the end of the route, right before you get on 34th Street, there's a pause, a quiet zone. So then people were getting frustrated that Temple couldn't play and they weren't allowed to because they were too close to the cameras.
For the TVs.
To the TVs. Even though they were on the corner edge of the street, they weren't allowed to play, which was kind of sad for those people. But then you're stopped there and you're just standing there waiting for your turn to move. And then the people there are like, "Can't do something. Dance for us, monkey boy." And like, you can't necessarily do anything. And so we're just kind of there and we're like, let's bob the balloon a little bit.
Yeah.
Here we go. Are you not entertained? So if you do go to Macy's and you do plan on seeing the parade, go watch from the beginning of the parade route. Get as far away from Macy's and 34th as possible.
I would say, if you're like, got the money, just splurge on those like super bougie tickets right there at the like production stage in front of Macy's. That'd be an incredible experience. You get to see all the performances, you see all the balloons come by, really cool. Second best spot, I agree, is probably like top of the parade route. You get to see the start, you get to kind of see some of the hype.
There's movement, and then it clears out too by that point.
I think too, pretty much every float as it enters, every act as it enters the parade starts their routine.
Yes.
So you're pretty much seeing it, everybody do their thing. Because there are points in the parade where the Temple Band isn't playing or the Disney Cruise Line is not doing their dance routine.
Well, I will say
actually,
that
they
to
probably
Disney.
are doing the whole,
they are
the whole time.
100%
doing the parade route.
And that's what was funny is I was explaining this to, who was I explaining this to? I think it was Mom. And she was, because in previous years, what I was saying was when we have been to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and if you watch when it's slow and they're at a pause point, the people that are not on a theme park centered or a themed entertainment venue location that they don't know what they're doing, they just stop and they stare at the audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's where a theme park like Disney World knows not to let their character die. So they are still going, haha.
They're just finding more people in the crowd.
They're literally doing crowd work and they're trained to do this. And they keep it going no matter the situation. So
the Disney performances too, it was really funny. I mean,
Like
we just saw
Hercules was
snippets.
passing an intersection and he was there and he was still flexing. He was still going at it.
They had their coffee. They were bumping it.
They were ready.
The whole way down. They hit their performance after, whatever, probably 30, 45 minutes of straight just, waving to the crowd and stuff. They're still there, ready to go for their big dance
Right.
number, so it's like they were impressive.
The other ones that I've seen that were the most ready was Sesame Street because they're also entertainers. They're puppeteers. They know to keep their character alive, to keep him moving. Even if they might not be actively waving or actively talking, they are still in animation, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think that, and I've known this for several years as someone that tries to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on TV. It's hard to watch the broadcast production because it's just there's too much choppiness. You're chopping either between commercials, anchor people's thoughts, and then brief snippets of productions and balloon shots. But it's just not enough parade. Like everyone cares about the parade. Everyone cares about the performances. Nobody really cares about the commentary on the performances. I'm just going to say that. Maybe I'm offending someone who is anchoring that show, but I just feel like people really would be happy to just watch the performances back to back with some light commentary over it and see more of the parade route, more of the balloons floating. So I feel like going there in person and experiencing it in person, even as a handler, you felt just more of the energy. You got to actually see the different shows and stuff, the bits and pieces. Whereas, the TV broadcast, it is like Disney Flash. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, unless you have one of those like hardcore performances, everything is just getting these little like sound bites out of it. It's just no fun to really watch. So definitely go in person, I think. And
at least once.
Yeah. It was amazing just seeing the crowds too. I think you just don't have really an appreciation for how New York does crowds, where you just have people pressed up against the boulevard. Incredible to just like round the corner and just look up into these residential apartments and just see kids just faces pressed up against the windows, like 15, 20 stories up.
That was really
just
cool.
All in their jammies, just looking,
really cute.
having breakfast morning, breakfast in the morning.
I
Just
did
so
get
fun.
an email to my Dapper Danielle email. But if you want to send us pictures, or if you were in New York and you saw the soccer ball and us passing, please send it to podcast at thedapperdanielle.com and let us know. But I did get some pictures of us from the 32nd floor of one of the high-rise office buildings. And then she's like, you didn't get screen time, but I saw you from way up here.
Nice.
And I was like, that's so cool. I love that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that was cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, it was so cool. And I loved seeing so much of, like, you could tell there was tourists from all over the world there. Not just from the US, but also from all over the world. And this is, for some of them, could been their only experience with an American Thanksgiving, right? And I thought that was very cool to be a part of that. And you did some great crowd work, Ian. I was so proud of you.
I wasn't
hyping up the audience.
I wasn't the Grand Marshal at Magic Kingdom for nothing. Okay, I understand how to work the crowd in a parade. Yeah, it was amazing. I think my favorite was at some point we passed by. This was like pretty early on in the parade route, and there's just this little boy who's just like, "Oh my gosh, it's a soccer ball!
Losing his mind.
I play soccer every day." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love it! You were the most pumped for the soccer ball." I mean, everyone else I think was just kind of like, "Oh, okay, soccer."
We
ball.
did pass a couple of other kids that were also very excited for the soccer ball,
yeah.
or they were like, that's their whole focus right now, is that they're on the travel teams for their soccer teams, or they're playing a club level or something like that. And they were so pumped to see us. It was like these little gaggle of kids at certain points.
Totally.
I was like, yeah, we might not be Spider-Man,
but
but pretty cool. Soccer ball.
Soccer ball. I think my favorite part was when the balloons are inflated on these little side streets, on these little residential roads, and they're put under these nets. And that's where you like take your positions to get the balloon. And you basically walk out from behind these buildings when you're a balloon handler onto the parade route. And you immediately are greeted with just hundreds of thousands of people on either side.
And it's a merge point. So
and you just look down and you see like the other floats in front of you. You see the marching band, you see like the city skyline. And I would think I was just like shocked. Like it
was like coming backstage.
It was such an amazing like moment for me to just kind of walk out and turn and be like, wow, like this is it. We are on the parade. And like, you know, people are happy to see you and like you're doing something really fun.
Mm.
That's just like people are just there to have a good time, and you feel that too when you're on the parade route.
Yeah.
So
some of you might have seen the viral video of Little Spider-Man that was out there during the inflation
I
day.
saw him.
We got to see Little Spider-Man, and that's because our little soccer ball was right there in Spider-Man's crotch the entire time. So because our soccer ball was so small in size, compared to the other balloons, we shared a net with Spider-Man, and that's why we were right up there in there. And I loved the de-netting moment before, like that happened about 30 minutes before walking, right?
Yeah.
And everybody has to get inside, holding onto our boning, so that way as soon as the net comes off, your balloon doesn't go flying up into the air. So we're all down there holding onto our balloon, and we have to face inwards. And they have all these different pilots and people part of the Macy's inflation team that are saying, and pull, go, go, go. And they're pulling the net off of these balloons. And the cheer that happens from all the other teams around you or the people that are behind you waiting their turn to be de-netted was really, really cool experience. I love that.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was also funny, very amusing, I thought, just like from a logistics standpoint, just the process of getting it all out of the city. I mean, it's like you come across the finish line, they've got avenues closed. They've got one closed for the floats, one closed for the balloons, and then another one, I think, another point for the like the bands and stuff like that to come to a rally. And I mean, they're breaking things down, assembling, shipping them out. Ours was crazy to me because we are carrying this soccer ball that's pretty large, and then there's Spider-Man in front of us. And I'm thinking like, yeah, Spider-Man probably gets his own semi-truck. I mean, that is a huge balloon, right? No, they have, I'm not even exaggerating when I say they have a small like laundry cart that you would
They are
see
literally laundry
at,
carts.
like Magic Kingdom, like the housekeeping services, like putting bed sheets in, and they have a large one. The large one holds the Spider-Man size floats when they're folded up. And the small ones, which I'm going to say was like maybe 3 feet by like 2.5 feet, like this, and like this deep. I mean, not a big laundry cart at all. The small one just holds our soccer ball very comfortably when it's all said and done.
Clarence
It's
and
like,
Ian carried the soccer ball to the laundry hamper.
Once it was deflated.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing to me that like one semi truck was taking like 6 or 7 balloons, and then it's like, and that's how they get them obviously down to like Orlando for like the Universal Macy's parade that, you know,
they ship up pretty easy.
That likes the Macy's Star, you know, some of these other smaller balloons are actually used in the parades down there. So it's like, yeah, one semi truck probably is just the obscure unmarked semi truck is just taking the Macy's Stars from New York City.
Is it luggage from MCO or is it from Macy's?
Yeah.
We don't know.
So I think that was really weird to me. I was just expecting like, I don't know. I don't even know what I was expecting to take these balloons away, but it was not very small laundry carts that the balloons just fit in.
I think I was shocked by how quickly you're done.
Yeah.
Like
we were also towards the front of the parade. We were part of the first 25%.
Yeah. So
Like
I think too, like when you talked about the historical aspect of when they started, it was like supposed to end at Macy's to bring people to the store. It still ends at Macy's.
Yeah.
Like
literally the other block done.
You're off of Herald Square and you're pulling the balloon down to deflate. Like literally the next block, there's a little spot, and then the marching bands and the floats are turning left down another street.
The Temple Band was hanging out. What was that giant building that they were in front of that they were waiting on the steps for the rest of their family?
It's like off of 7th.
Yeah, they were in front of Penn Station, but they were in front of one of those buildings. Kind of.
Yeah.
They're kind of.
It was funny.
Around it.
Yeah. So basically, you just get out of the way as quickly as possible, deflate your balloon as fast as possible, fold it up, throw it in its little laundry cart.
Takes like as long as you like. I feel like I would take longer to deflate a beach ball than it took us to deflate our soccer ball. I mean,
it was fast,
very fast process.
So let's talk about the deflation process because we learned something very interesting, or at least it's something that you don't think about, is that helium is a gas, right? And it is thicker than air, right? So when I don't
know that it's. I think it's thinner because
that's
why it floats.
No, because that's why when it comes out, you could see it because it's denser.
It's.
Hold on, let me double check if I'm using the correct science terminology.
We're not a science podcast.
This is such a good for non-stimmers. This is such a hard question right here. Like all those STEM people are like, wow,
should have known.
We really need to be educated on this.
I
would say it's lighter, so less dense than air. Is my
okay? It is lighter than air. You are correct.
Thank you.
That's why
yes,
it flies.
That's why it flies.
That's why it flies.
So, but I feel like you can see just because it's a gas escaping. You know, it's just distorting
in large quantities.
But because it's lighter than air, it actually like kind of acts as like a, I don't know, like it fills like wherever there's oxygen, basically, is like which is it kind of pushes the oxygen out. So we learned, maybe this is where you're going, I think.
Yes, it is.
That, during the deflation process, one of the places helium can push oxygen out of is your lungs. And if you stand too close to they have these large like zipper vents on the side. And so basically like if you just were to pop that open and get a face full of helium, it would fill your lungs so quick that you would just pass out almost instantly from lack of oxygen, because it just forces all the oxygen and fills your lungs like a balloon with helium.
And then you start to float and you become a Macy's balloon, and it's really terrible.
It does happen to the best of us.
But that's where JT wanted to make sure, he's like, as we undo this, you have to look away. Do not put your face directly in front of the zipper, or else you could pass out in that moment. And he told us how he was on the SpongeBob balloon. And somebody walked in past of it, or was trying to get a chamber that had collapsed within SpongeBob. It was like, oh, I'll fix it real quick. And before somebody could say, wait, no, they passed out. And I was like, oh, valid point. That makes sense, actually, a lot.
I would love to know how many people have passed out during the deflation process.
I mean, enough that it had to be brought up as a safety tip.
I could see, like, it wouldn't surprise me if there's like one every year that needs like an EMS attention because they're feeling they're lightheaded or they passed out because of.
I thought for sure Spider-Man lady.
Oh, because she tried to go do it.
She tried to do it. We thought she was going to.
We thought she was going to be out.
Talking about earlier.
I forgot about that.
She literally, there's a zipper on Spider-Man's foot, and she goes to unzip it
unsupervised
without a pilot.
Yeah.
Thank God, a pilot or a captain.
I think it was a captain.
Came over and was like, no, let us do this. Like, you don't need to do that.
Go. Like it was just.
She was going to be the first one fall out right there.
Just been out cold, and I was like, oh no, this is where we watch Spider-Man lady die. Like this.
Selfishly, I kind of really would have loved to have seen that happen in front of me.
Pass out, just
just been like, oh, poor lady.
I forgot that she almost did that. She was gonna do it.
She was.
She was the worst balloon handler in the parade.
That's why she was the big toe.
She was a little problematic. For sure.
Thank goodness. It was. Shout out to Macy's, and we loved everybody that was there. It was great. Something else I thought was really cool is, since we were having to walk to our location to be able to get our stuff at the very beginning, same place we dropped off our costumes. No, we did. Oh, that was the other question. Did we get to keep any of our costumes? No. Literally, Macy's had it down to a science. They had, so in our costumes, we had to wear basically Under Armour shirts or thermal underwear and like leggings or whatever seemed to keep you warm.
Athletic clothes underneath.
And that's all we wore. And then we got these giant coveralls that were like canvasy.
Uh-huh.
And
like a workman's coverall.
Yeah.
What you'd imagine a mechanic wears.
Like
and then
wear if you're caddying at the Masters.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually very, very similar.
Exactly.
And then there's these turtlenecks, but they're dickies. They're not even real turtlenecks. They're just right here.
Which I didn't understand. There was so many instructions about make sure when you're putting on your clothes for the day that you leave enough room for a white turtleneck to go on over your clothes.
It's literally
I was
only
anticipating
here.
like, okay, I like a thick, athletic material white turtleneck thing.
It's also what I thought.
It is just a shirt collar. Just like if you
That's
just
it.
cut out a little circle around the turtleneck hole and just slip that on. That's all it is.
Goes down to here.
And then gloves, a hat, a little vest.
Oh, and then we did get spats that had clips that went over our shoes, so that way it matched with your uniform colors. And that I thought was really cool. And they had everything organized for bin for spats. Put your turtlenecks in here. Put your beanies in here. Put your gloves in here. And they had it organized. That the whole warehouse would be ready to go, and laundry would have been started by end of Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
totally.
was
Yeah.
impressive.
And just put it in storage for next year. Just wait until then.
I was a little. This is the only thing I would say. I loved the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I was extremely impressed with all of the cast members, for lack of a better word, of the employees of Macy's. All were so excited to be there. I was really struck by how genuine they were. Just
And they were hyping everybody up.
They
They
were
did a
ready to
great
go.
job.
Yeah.
Everyone was super friendly.
But I felt a little gypped. I was told at some point by someone, and it may have been a Kelly, who may have misinterpreted instructions. I was told that post parade, balloon handlers would get a souvenir, which turned out to be a pen. That's fine. Just a
It
little
says
pen.
I was a part of
Says
it,
I was
which is
here.
cool.
That's fine. Expected. We have thousands of volunteers. You can't give them, something nice. I get it. And I was told there will be a continental breakfast.
With at least like a pastry or a banana. Like after you do a
continental
marathon.
breakfast. Okay.
I did hear that as well.
I have been to hotels. I have watched the Key and Peele skit, Continental Breakfast. There are many versions. Some would include muffins, waffles, eggs. Some would include just bagels, cheap bagels.
A single croissant.
Cereal, a single croissant, a banana. I asked for the Continental Breakfast, and I was told, you get a water bottle. What?
There were people that said there was snacks or a continental breakfast at the end of the
Or
parade.
at least a granola bar.
In the New Yorker building, because we were in
Which was for I learned the New York building was only for the clowns and the performers and all them. Were stationed there. The Hammerstein in recent years has been moved to balloon handlers only. So maybe they get a snack, but I'm like, I walked the 3 miles too. Everyone who's
You were
performed
just
probably
holding a
worked hard.
giant helium
They
balloon
worked
that could have
hard.
crushed
Okay,
thousands of people.
But give them like a real bagel or something, and just give me the El Cheapo bagel. That's fine. But
Ugh.
I expected just like a croissant and a muffin to be able to shove into my face as I walked back to our hotel to leave New York. And instead, I got a bottle of water.
You know what?
Which I did get-
Hashtag not sponsored. But while we were there, we had, was it Bagel Stop?
Pop-up bagels.
Pop-up bagels.
Wow. They were
In New
pretty
York
good.
City.
They were decent, I would say.
very
I
good.
I love
Those
I
were
just
so
too-
good.
I don't
They were
even
so
know. The day after the parade, though, best. I used to live in New York a couple of years, went to school there, so fond memories.
That's where Jacqueline and Ian met. It was really
Yeah,
cute.
really great place. And I loved the day after the parade. I got bagels by myself for everybody. I just stopped in. They all went up to the hotel room. Lady working the register, most New Yorker vibes ever, taking orders. I loved it. Just
What do you want?
not taking time for anybody. What do you want? It's on the menu. Just look at the menu. It's on the menu. Okay, you have time. Okay, great. You know what? You're going to sit here and look at the menu. I'm just going to go over to the other register, take someone else's order. Take their order, come back. Okay, what do you want? These, great, done. Boom. I mean, she was serving people so fast.
I did not
She
hear
was
this.
being snarky to people, but not me. I don't know how to describe it. It's just the most New Yorker
It's
thing.
New
of,
Yorker attitude.
You're in the way. I understand you don't know how to do it. You need to be better. I'm being as patient as I can with you, but you really need
What
to
do you
get better
want? The
because
menu
there
is
are
the menu.
100
This is what we
people.
got. If you don't see it
Yeah.
up there, we ain't got it.
It's simple. So great experience. I was like, wow, I'm in New York. I love it. I love just the
the
just
people.
get on board or get out of the way kind of mentality of New York. Just so good.
You can have the same experience in the drive-through at the cookout on West End.
Cookout is surprisingly New York. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. It is just chaos, and there aren't any rules except for get your food as fast as you can.
You should know
And-
how we do this here.
And the employees are on board with that. They're like, yeah, you're right. There are no rules. Just get your food as fast as you can. What do you want? Why are you talking to me? Put your order in.
Yeah, if you're from Nashville and you've ever gone through the drive-through at the cookout on West End downtown, you know how they're like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
You can't ask questions. If you ask questions, you're wrong.
They
you
won't
get what
answer
you
you.
get.
They'll
and you
just be
don't
like, what do you want?
throw a fit.
It is literally
Just
on
read the menu.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So just great. Papa Bagels was a great experience, very close to our hotel.
It was
We
so
loved
good.
it. Very good bagels, very good New Yorker vibes. Just
Mhm.
there. So great trip to New York, and we did great. We did public transit the whole time. We got around the
We
city.
did.
We saw many wonderful things.
We were only successful because Jacqueline and Ian, mostly Ian, are very good about reading and understanding the subway system in New York City. We would have been totally lost without you guys. We would have figured it out, but after we went down the wrong...
We would have been looking at our phones all the time, trying to figure out where to go. But with Ian there, he just was like
how
we're going.
I am in Disney World of I am the map. Ian was the map in New York, and it was great. Yes.
Happy to do so. It's impressive. Taking public transportation to JFK and to LaGuardia, it's no small feat in the same trip. So very, very good to do that.
That was some of the other questions that we got were we paid? No, this was entirely voluntary.
We were negatively compensated.
We're just doing this for the love of the game.
We didn't even get a continental breakfast, okay?
Right. So we covered our own airfare up there. We covered our own hotel stay. This was all out of our own budget and our own money. Will it be a tax write-off for the Dapper Danielle show? Probably at the end of the year, but we'll see in the marketing, banking stuff at the end of the year.
We'll see when we do our taxes.
Exactly. And so, no, we were not paid or compensated. We did not get to keep our costumes. We did get our pins, though, and we also got our participation badge pins. We got to keep those. We technically got 2 pins. We did not get continental breakfast. And we ended up leaving immediately after the parade. So we did not stay in New York City after Thanksgiving. Most of the reason why was because since we all flew up there as a family, so it was me, Clarence, Ian, Jacqueline, and then Dapper Mom were actually actively in the parade. Dapper Dad was there as well as the Dapper Niece. However, somebody had to watch the baby because she could not be in the parade. So Dapper Dad happily volunteered to be on grandpa duty. And he watched the baby one. So all of us were up there.
Yeah.
To fly us all out of New York after Thanksgiving went up by $200 per ticket, if I believe. Where by leaving on Thanksgiving was a breeze. We loved traveling on Thanksgiving Day. Very chill.
LaGuardia was empty. Literally, like the tickets were way cheaper.
Yeah.
It was so easy.
The people that were there working in the airport, also delightful.
Super chill and friendly.
Yeah, I mean...
Until we got to Detroit.
It was, I don't know.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the one guy we talked to when we checked in our bags, delightful. But kind of one of those like...
He was so bored out of his mind. He was trying to find somebody to talk to.
I don't know. I was going to say, it's like one of those moments where you're kind of like, wait, am I in like an alternate reality or something? Like, you know when you have those moments where it's like something just happens and you're like, are you like an angel or something? Like, not because of anything that happened. It's not like we were like blessed.
No.
But just like, it was just so like, this is just so weird what we're talking
about.
Is
this canon?
Like,
is this real?
Not uncomfortable weird. Just, you're just like from a different dimension. And I'm like somehow just kind of like slipped realities here. And I'm going to slip back into my normal.
Do y'all
really quick.
know what we're talking about? It's usually with an older generation, an older person. I feel like because I've had one of these experiences before with somebody else. And they're just like, you're like, are you for real life? Are you really here with us? Or are you somewhere else right now? I don't know.
I feel like I've had it with all ages. Like this is super random. I don't know if we even need to keep this on, but this bonus episode, mini bonus episode. One time I was working at a shoe store in Anchorage, Alaska. And I used to have to go there really early. Actually, this was not the shoe store. This was when I was working for a cruise line, but same start location.
The whole Dapper family and Ian have done some really odd jobs. So another podcast for another time.
Super early in the morning, like I'm talking like 3:45 in the morning. I'm walking across this public park, which has this like kind of informal baseball, like softball kind of feel, but no fence around it, just very informal. Has these bleachers. Walking, nobody's in the bleachers. Walking, turn, guy's sitting in the bleachers. Guy gets up, wearing like the only way I can describe it is like total vampire clothes, like big boots, big black boots, leather pants. And like
in
this
Alaska?
like black shirt with like the sleeves kind of half up, and then had like this very drapey like Jedi cape where it was like very flowy but not super coveragey. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like if you just had like 2 thin flaps down the front, 2 thin flaps down the back. Like very just, I'm just looking at him, I was like, you're a vampire, 100%. Look back.
Not all emo kids.
This guy like literally like appeared and disappeared like that. And like if I had seen a bat fly across me, I would have been like 100% vampire. So I just went into work like you do. You're just like, okay, whatever, great, weird. But just like one of those moments where again, it's just like I'm just in a different reality right now than what I'm normally in, and I just need to get back to like the normal reality
wild.
where I go work at a cruise line in the morning. Here.
So you either experienced the very rare breed in Anchorage, Alaska of the emo kids, or like the devil, one of the two.
I don't know, but it wasn't weird. I didn't have like an uncomfortable feeling or anything. Like my New York street sense wasn't going off. It was just kind of like, okay, weird.
That
But
happened.
just, I don't know, same thing in the airport too, where it's like not uncomfortable, not weird, but just kind of like this is just like, feels like not reality kind of in a way, but then it kind of just snaps back at some point, you know? I don't know. I just moments for me.
Let us know if you've ever had those experiences.
End of the bonus episode there, the mini bonus episode of Ian's.
I love a good tangent. I love it.
The Alaskan vampire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, somebody should
It's a
make a
new
comic of
cryptid.
that.
He's very nice, I'm sure.
Are you the Alaskan Vampire? Podcast at thedapperdanielle.com. Please reach out and say hello. Maybe we'll have you on.
Well,
Do you hang out in the bleachers?
do you hang out at
In
no?
Anchorage?
Anyway,
If you live in Anchorage and you hang out in bleachers, you might be the vampire. If you've walked by a storefront window and not seen your reflection, you might be a vampire.
my goodness, can't take y'all anywhere.
Parents, talk to your kids about becoming a vampire. These are some common
Say
signs.
no to vampirism.
Is your child touching their canine
Parents,
teeth?
learn the signs. Catch it early.
Anyway, I'm trying to think if we had any other questions pertaining not to emos or vampires, but to Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I want to just
I think-
say, y'all have done a wonderful job of saying Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
There were a couple of misspoken
Because
titles for the parade.
y'all have
Pre-parade.
said it perfectly
Yes.
this whole episode. And
Yeah.
I know it's not just Dapper Dad. Dapper Dad always refers to it as the Macy's Day Parade.
So good.
And there's so many other people that I've heard refer to it as the Macy's Day
I
Parade.
kept
and it
saying
drives
Macy's
me
Day
nuts.
Parade beforehand.
Maybe it's more appropriate to say the Macy's Day Parade because it's not a Thanksgiving Day parade.
It is a
It's
Christmas
a
parade that
Christmas
happens on
parade
Thanksgiving.
occurring on Thanksgiving.
But it starts with Tom Turkey.
the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's true.
It ends with
Have we
Santa
described
Claus
the
ushering in the
sacrifice yet?
Christmas
I don't know.
season.
Is the sacrifice appropriate to talk about in the
I think we
Danielle
can.
show?
Essentially, me and Ian have decided that the parade is a ceremonial procession leading to the sacrifice of Tom Turkey.
This
at
is
the
not
hands
approved
of
by Dapper Danielle. I did not.
Father
We were talking
Christmas.
about
It
this.
is we symbolically bring the beast forth, which is Tom Turkey,
Uh-huh.
chase him down the streets as we celebrate, hoping that Santa Claus will receive our praise and gladness. And then we sacrifice the turkey on Thanksgiving, obviously, to welcome in the Lord, Santa Claus, who apparently has a trumpet already and sits on top
Heralded
of
by
Macy's,
trumpets.
lives in Herald.
King of the Kitties.
King of the Kitties. What a callback.
Yeah, and then he gives us gifts from his
If he
million
deems us
square
worthy.
foot warehouse of toys.
It's whatever, like, if you
It's the ultimate like
break the wishbone.
consumerism with like bohemianism mashup, you know, kind of. It's this like
It's kind of like a pagan ritual
Yeah.
meets corporate America.
exactly. Wow.
Isn't that just capitalism?
No.
And
Okay.
that is the pitch for our next show for the Disney Network.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, we think it could go into more of the adult category, but
we can put it on Hulu if we need to.
Yeah, sure. It's going away.
Is it?
Or maybe
Totally?
it's a Hulu app is going away.
The Hulu app. is
Oh, I
going
thought it
away.
was being combined.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
becoming
it's still
the same
kind of
thing.
Hulu is the more adult stuff like Fox and like that's
Kind
where
of.
Family Guy and Bob's Burgers is.
Yes.
It is weird. Should we just keep going on tangents? I'm just going to say Disney Plus needs to really work on their categorization of adult movies versus kid movies because it is downright traumatizing to be surfing for Charlie Brown Thanksgiving movies and have like
Only on Apple, by the way.
satanic horror movies being shown next to them with like the autoplay thing starting and stuff. And the fact that you can, I know you can put kid settings on it and all that, but like, that's just, I don't know. It's just odd to me sometimes as someone who grew up with like Disney, Fox being like different media companies to see things like Alien versus Predator next to like Zootopia. And it's like, I feel like these need to be like
you don't
in
want the
very-
Touchstone pictures being so close to the
these
Disney
need to be,
animated.
like very different tabs. Like there is no way we should have like R-rated films next to G-rated films in any app. Like it shouldn't allow that ever. So that is just baffling to me that it has made it that long on the Disney Plus app where those things just exist next to each other. Because just weird to me. So yeah, that's all.
Cool. Yeah.
Never a dull moment over here on the Dapper Danielle show.
Clarence
and
got
we
his tangents at the beginning.
He
of the
did.
show.
I
get
like
my
it when you have a
tangents at the
tangent.
end
I
of the
like
show.
not being the only one with a tangent. That's a great tangent.
I just talk here with the history and some of the fun stuff that we cover. You know, it's
PC princess over here.
hashtag why one of us has so many thousands of followers and the other one's not so much. It's fine.
That's a good point.
It's fun. Anyway, with that being said, we don't have any new members to the Patreon family for the refresher tier, but we did have some new people that did join us for some of the lower tiers like Churros and what was my other premium bar. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you, Patreon family. Over there, we just did a fun craft time here last night, and I posted it over there as a poll. And
I got some hate for sure. I'm amazed at the hate I got.
And you did such a good job too. Maybe it's because I didn't highlight yours long enough in the video, but we took
Prophet
these
has no renown in his hometown.
honestly. But Mom got these ugly ornaments from a local gift shop over here, and they were supposed to be
free.
snowman.
They were free.
They were free, thank
We
goodness.
didn't pay.
We didn't pay for them. I would have yelled at my mother if she paid
Should
for
we show
these.
them? Do you want me to throw?
No, because they have to go to the Patreon to be able to see them.
Patreon.com.
But they looked like, the best way to describe them is they looked like security cameras.
They looked
you
like
know,
a ring camera.
Ring camera dots with like the little like
With a
bucket
nose.
things with a nose in the front. Like not a smiley snowman, a camera. Which maybe
We did tear apart some of them to make sure they weren't secretly cameras, and they were not. It was all styrofoam, but still very concerning.
So
And
we made crafts. We made them better. We accomplished what the original designers could not do, and we posted it on Patreon for Patreon members to enjoy and vote on which one was superior. Which
yes, so it should still be up on the Patreon. If you have not, go check out the post, see if you can guess which one is Ian's. And you can probably guess which one is mine, and let us know your opinion on which one you like the most. I will say that Jacqueline's is the one that's currently winning besides mine over on the Patreon.
See if you can guess which one is mine.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that'll be the reveal. I'll wait here in a couple of weeks, and then I'll reveal which one was done by which family member.
oh, you haven't revealed.
I haven't revealed that. It's still obscure. Mine you can obviously guess, but you have to go to the Patreon and check it out. Again, it's gonna be the Dapper
Shouldn't say
Danielle.
that because it'd be way funnier if you just, as a bit, said that yours was somebody else's.
But then
Like,
people are
if
gonna be
you
like,
If,
nah.
if Jacqueline did Orange Bird,
There-
Yeah, I didn't say which one mine was.
people know.
There is
It's your
no way
followership.
that anyone else would have done that. It's not even plausible. Like, there's just no way. No, Danielle's followers would be like, no, there's no way.
They'll be like,
There's no
you're
way.
lying. You're
We
wrong.
need to do an Orange Bird competition and let people vote on who did the best Orange Bird.
And they know my requirements of what has to be on there because they follow me and they
We
know.
your requirements too.
Okay.
You can do it.
Coming up in future content, we'll talk about it later.
Patreon.com/the Dapper Danielle.
And until next time, thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you around. Night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Bye y'all.